Thank you all for joining us today in our CEED Peer Mentoring Information Session. We hope that you find this time helpful. Our goal is really just to communicate with you what we do and answer any questions that you have. So if you think of questions along the way, I'm going to give a brief presentation. Feel free to drop those in the Q&A, and we will try our best to address all of the questions that we get. I'll also provide my email at the end of this presentation if you have follow-up questions after we end. And the presentation from today will be posted online at our peer mentoring website as well. So feel free, if you want to go back and review any of the information that's covered, you can do that after the fact. But we're really glad to have you join us. We're excited. We love this program. It's very near and dear to all of us, and we've all participated for multiple years. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself and then give my panelists a chance to introduce themselves. My name's Hannah. I'm a first-year PhD student in the engineering education program here at Tech, and I coordinate this peer mentoring program. I also participated in it as a freshman at Virginia Tech back in 2014, so it's cool to have come full circle and now get to experience it from the other side. But I will be driving this presentation, and then at the end, Meghna and Daniel will have a chance to answer any questions you all have. So Meghna and Daniel, you want to give a brief introduction of yourselves?
Yeah, I can go. Hey guys, my name is Meghna. I'm a junior in computer engineering, and I was actually as a freshman, a member of Hypatia and Galileo, which is our engineering living learning community. And then sophomore year became a guest mentor for the CEED Peer Mentoring Program, and later that year became a peer leader. So kind of the student leaders of the program, and we'll be here for another year doing so. So yeah.
Okay. And I'm Daniel Lisando. I'm a senior in chemical engineering here at Tech. I've been part of this program for about 4 years now. For my first year, I was a member of the best peer mentoring group. Then I was a mentor for 2 years for the guest and the best mentor. And this year I'm a peer leader, but this is my final here at Tech. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, Hannah, you can go.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to start by giving a brief overview of the office that we are run through, the CEED office. It stands for the Center for the Enhancement of Engineering Diversity. And then I'll talk more specifically about our program. So what is CEED? We've been around since 1992. And excitingly, the peer mentoring program has been around also since the office opened. That was one of the first initiatives that CEED started. And so it started with the Black engineering support teams, which is BEST. So you'll hear a little bit more about each of the distinct groups that we have available later in this presentation. But you can see that there's been a lot of evolution with the CEED office over the years. I won't read everything to you that we do, but again, this will be posted online if you're interested. So we've been around for a while, and we keep building on our things that we do, and are always excited to have a new incoming class of students to work with. It keeps the energy high, and we love to help students as they transition to Virginia Tech. So our objectives and goals as CEED, again, it is the Center for the Enhancement of Engineering Diversity. So one of our goals is to increase the diversity of students who apply, enroll, and graduate from the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech. We do this in a lot of different ways. I'll talk about some of those in a minute. We want to increase awareness that engineering and other technical fields are exciting and rewarding career paths, as well as to provide academic, professional, and personal support to students. We support a bunch of student organizations. You can read some of those here. There are a lot more that CEED works with. Basically, very many of the College of Engineering student organizations we have a hand in helping them out. And then we also foster collaboration between our office and the university at large, as well as with industry partners and the local community. So some of our programs, we do offer pre-college programs. Some of you may have participated in some of these. These include summer camps for middle and high school students who are interested in engineering or interested in science and technology. There are lots of different ones of those listed. We do Women's Preview Weekend, if you've been a part of that or heard of that, where women get to come to campus usually and experience what it might be like to be a student here. We also run undergraduate programs. So you may have heard of Hypatia and Galileo. That is our living learning community for engineering students. And then we run the peer mentoring program. So that is what you are here to hear about today. We do a couple other things, and there are things that are not listed here. The office is pretty expansive and touches a lot of students who are in engineering, whether or not they're involved in any of these programs. So here's our structure. We have a director, full-time staff members. I'm the graduate student GA for peer mentoring. Magna and Daniel are some of our undergraduate student leaders, and then undergraduate engineering students are the ones that we work for, and you guys are why we're here. We're here to serve you, so you fall in that last category. All right, so more specifics about the mentoring program. An overview of what we'll talk about. I'll give a brief overview of the program, talk about its structure, talk about some of the numbers over the years, and then I'll give you an overview of specific events that the CEED Peer Mentoring Program puts on. These are specific to participants in this program, and they're a really great opportunity to engage in useful and exciting and fun ways with the college and with industry partners and with mentors that aren't provided to all engineering students, just the ones who are in our program. So good incentive to sign up. I'll go over weekly meetings and then benefits of the program. So we've gone over some of this. I'm the graduate student. We have 8 to 10 undergraduate student leaders usually who run the show. They're the peer leaders, and each of the peer leaders have a team of mentors that they supervise and advise throughout the course of the fall semester. Those mentors, we have about 60 to 80 on a normal year, depending on interest from incoming students. That determines how many mentors we need. But those fall into 4 teams. So we have Ahora, the team that works with Academic Hispanic Outreach Alliance. So that is specific to Hispanic students. So if you are a Hispanic student, you can sign up for Ahora. You also do not have to. We have, jumping down to guest, our general undergraduate engineering support teams. That is kind of an all-encompassing group. So even if you fall in one of these other categories, you're welcome to sign up for guest. We also have BEST, the Black Engineering Support Teams, the one that's been around since 1992, and WEST, our Women in Engineering Support Teams. So our program structure, we run for 10 weeks in the fall semester. We have 1 weekly mentee-mentor meeting. So that means the mentors will plan a meeting for their incoming freshman group each week. And those will cover often different topics that related to the college transition. So maybe one week you'll meet at a dining hall and you'll get to experience that dining hall and you'll talk about some good study tips to get you started in the semester. Some of them are also meant to be just fun, get to know you activities. So our mentors plan out of the box activities sometimes that maybe you'll go kayaking like folks in this picture, or maybe you'll go hiking with your mentor group and just get to know some people, build some connections as you start college. During a normal year, this part did not happen this year thanks to COVID, but during a normal year and hopefully this upcoming fall, we do offer free meals. So the mentors will have a card and they'll be able to take their groups out for a meal in downtown Blacksburg just to experience the town and spend some more time together that way. And then we sponsor usually 3 large CEED events. So these are the ones that are exclusive to CEED participants, those who participate in either the Peer Mentoring Program or Hypatia and Galileo. So on a normal year, we have an average of 8 mentees per mentor. So these are small groups, which leads to hopefully some really strong connections that if you're in class with folks or not in class with folks, a lot of times engineering students in their first year will have a lot of the same assignments, a lot of the same professors. You can bond over some of those things. But these small groups allow for really supportive relationships to be built. And we do our best to pair mentees with similar intended majors and interests, or at least give exposure to those majors and interests by exposing students to different mentors or having them interact with their own mentor who might have similar interests to them. So here are some numbers. So we've started 27 years ago. We have about 50 to 60% of each incoming engineering student class participate in either the Peer Mentoring Program or Galileo and Hypatia. Now, a distinction I want to make here is that a lot of people can get these two confused because there is mentoring in Hypatia and Galileo. Our program is separate from that, so you do not have to be a part of the Living Learning community to be in our program. Our fall 2020 numbers, we had 66 mentors and 395 freshman participants. All right, so now the exciting stuff, the events that we do for our program. So the first one that happens right when you get here in the fall is the O Show. So this stands for the CEED Opportunity Show. And it takes place usually in Goodwin Hall, our beautiful engineering building. And it is the weekend before classes. So this is an opportunity for engineering organizations to come and tell you about what it is that they do. So all kinds of organizations will be there, major specific ones, interest specific organizations. There are a lot of them, and you get a chance to just go talk to them and see what you might want to get involved in and what sounds exciting to you. And this, again, is only available to students in a CEED program. The next one is Expo Prep. So you may or may not have heard of our big career fair called Engineering Expo. That's an event in the fall where companies come in and they really are just doing recruiting for our students. And so the Expo Prep event helps you to get some exposure to what you might expect at Engineering Expo. So we usually invite an industry partner, somebody who works in an engineering company, in to talk to you about what they are looking for in the interactions that they have at Expo. So we do some resume reviewing and practice our elevator pitches. You'll learn how to do those things so that you're prepared going into Engineering Expo. And the reason that we do this is we really want our students to be successful in those interactions and in school, but to know what to expect when interacting with people who are coming to recruit you is really important. The next one, we do an event called Major Scoop. So you all will come in to engineering at Virginia Tech in general engineering, and you will get to decide during your first year what it is that you're actually interested in, which engineering discipline. So this event is designed to kind of help you figure that out and get some of your questions answered. So we have mentors from all these different engineering disciplines there to answer questions, and you can pick and choose who you talk to based on what you think you might want to do. This event will also help you to figure out which courses you might need to request based on your major interests. And then we also have minors represented too. So if you're interested in doing, let's say, an industrial and systems engineering major and a business minor, then you could talk to somebody who's also doing that. In a normal year, we did not do this again this year because of COVID, but we would get a scoop of ice cream, hence the name Major Scoop, along with your learning about your major. Hopefully we'll get back to that in the fall. So these are just some pictures from weekly meetings. You can see people do all kinds of things, from getting frozen yogurt to hammocking on the drill field and going hiking. There's lots of really great hiking around Blacksburg. So just some things you have to look forward to. Here are some more. Some good pizza and some rec sports challenges, it looks like. So what are the benefits of the programs? You'll, of course, get some mentoring. You'll get to build connections with students. But there's also opportunities for academic support. So we partner with offices across campus to bring you information that will help you academically, from tutoring opportunities to all kinds of other things that might help you to be successful. You'll get to receive advice from people who have done this before. So all of our mentors are above their freshman year, so they've experienced what it is that our incoming students are going through, and they can help teach you the ins and outs of college, the things that they're like pro tips for how to navigate the transition. It also paves the way to creating lifelong friendships, and looks like I repeated that bullet point. So lots of friendships. All right, so last step, how to sign up. Registration is not open yet, but it will open in early June. So you can be on the lookout for information about that either through our website or through an email that will go to all accepted engineering students at some point early in the summer. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have a CEED Peer Mentoring Facebook and Instagram page, so I would encourage you to do that. Lots of good information there. And we hope you'll consider applying. So at this time, I'll open the floor to any questions. And if you have anything that you don't get to ask in this section, you can send those questions to me at hannah96@vt.edu. Magna and Daniel, what has been one of your favorite experiences working with the peer mentoring program?
I can go. I think there's two sides of it, right? So there's one coming in as a mentor. So when you first start, whether it's through our Dockage program or CEED Peer Mentoring, which I think is an awesome program, as a mentor coming in, you have someone you can immediately ask questions to, because your mentor is essentially your first friend. They're open for any questions. They're ready to take you around campus. they're literally your first resource that we provide to you before school even starts. That is huge. And then you actually make friends within your group. That's a whole nother experience. And your mentor tends to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter, and eventually, hopefully, a friend that you have and a lifelong mentor. So something really special about that. And then going in further, having the opportunity to grow in that program and then be the mentor that you had, or maybe you want to even be even more than that and be support students over the struggles that you had to go through. So I think it's an incredible process.
I don't want to piggyback off what Magna said, but it's the same. Yeah, having a mentor to guide you through the whole process, also meeting people who have similar experiences to you, and not only that, in terms of the academic aspect of things, they are going through the same thing or similar things you're going through. So having to talk to them and figure out that, oh, I'm not the only one going through this stuff. It's really fun, and I think that's the best part. And also, I also got to make a lot of friends. I still talk to some of my mentees from 2 years ago. I still talk to my mentor who currently works somewhere in Texas. So that's the fact that I'm making lifelong friends is a really big thing.
So someone asked, are the group co-ed or separated by gender? So like we said earlier, there's 4 different groups, Ahora, West, Best, and Guest. So our Guest, Best, and Ahora groups are all co-ed. They're more based on, do you want to be a general engineer or be in Black support groups or Hispanic support groups? But West, which is our woman in support group, that is all female, but the rest are all co-ed.
The question about the fee, there's no fee for the mentoring program. There's no fee for the service.
And to piggyback off that, I think that's one of the coolest things in general, that there is no fee. We literally just want to see you succeed. And every mentor that you have has already been through their freshman year, knows the struggles, and they're here just to help you. And they're doing it because they want to, not for any other reason. So I think that's really awesome.
And even if they've not gone through the exact image, like different major or something of different interest, they know someone, or there's someone else they can connect you with who has something similar that you're going through. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, kind of off that point, so someone asked, can a student just join the peer mentoring program without joining Galileo and Hypatia? Yes. So we're all under the umbrella of CEED, but you can kind of think of it as 2 different programs. So Galileo and Hypatia, you live in a building of all engineers, and you have a built-in mentorship program. So if you are part of that, you don't sign up for this. That has its own mentoring program. But not everyone likes to live with all engineers. They want to try a different experience, or maybe it gets filled up so you're not able to live there. This is still giving you the opportunity to have a mentor for the same time period. Our programs are very similar in that regard. You just don't all live in the same space or building.
So, and then what sort of events have been hosted recently during the COVID times? So everything Hannah went through, we have hosted. It just looked different. So we tried to convert it to like an online version. So for example, the major scoop, the only thing I was missing was the ice cream part. But we did have all representative of majors come to our meeting. If you wanted to talk to someone from chemical engineering, there was a Zoom link that you could join. If you wanted to talk to someone from mechanical, and even all the different majors, there was someone you could talk to. So we did hold everything, but it was just different in terms of online.
Do you all want to talk about what some of the weekly meetings with mentors looked like this past semester?
I think we do our best to reflect the time of the year that you're in as well. So like right when we get there, we try to have them give you a tour of campus, get to know all the different organizations that you could sign up for, especially during Gobbler Fest, which is like our big kind of club sign up time. We give you access to them beforehand. And then as we get closer to tests, we talk about, okay, how do you study for tests? How is that successful? And then after tests, like, oh, maybe you didn't get the grade you wanted. How do you then recover from that and then push yourself to get a better grade in the future? Or towards closer to the end, we'll talk about course requests, how to sign up for courses. And you kind of have these topics kind of going with you based on the place that you are during this freshman year. But on top of that, we try to make it fun and not fully just like, oh, you're sitting in another lecture. That's not our goal. Our goal is that you can kind of get a break, do something fun, but also gain a lot of resources and opportunities from students that have already gone through all that figuring out stuff. And you're given to it without the struggle to get there.
I'll answer the question about requirements for registration. Really, you just have to be a College of Engineering student. You can register. There are no real requirements. As Megan said, if you are in Hypatia and Galileo, you don't need to register for this program because you already have that peer mentoring built into Hypatia and Galileo. But really, once the link goes live, you'll just fill out the information that is asked for, and then we will know that you're interested and we'll pair you with a mentor. There's another one about Help Me Help You. That is not part of the peer mentoring program, but it is under CEED's purview. So I have not actually had experience with Help Me Help You. So it is a separate program, but we encourage you to do as many things with CEED as you would like. So certainly that is an opportunity that's available to you.
Someone asked, what are some restrictions placed on weekly meetings during lockdown? We kind of, groups are not more than 10 people. That's usually like the max that we go up to. And with this year, a little bit less even. So we kind of left it up to mentors, saying, do you want to meet in person, virtual? They talked with their group, whatever they were comfortable with and their group were comfortable with. But a lot of people just did it virtually, or if they did do it in person, we just asked them to maintain social distancing and keep masks on at all time. So most people just went outside on the drill field and had a meeting. So that was like another great way to have a meeting, but we still made sure guidelines were being followed.
So there's a question: is there any reason why someone would not participate in the peer mentoring program? I cannot think of any, except maybe like you're in the Galipatia program, but there's not a reason to not participate. There's so much to get from this program. And the best part is it's free. You don't have, it's not, and the thing is, it's a volunteer program too, so you can your mentors will try to tailor it to your schedule, but if not, they still send out necessary information that you might need. And it's more of, I like to think of it as more of a distressing meeting than go sit there and get a lot of information to you. So there's not, I cannot think of a reason why you shouldn't be part of the program.
And so definitely take that initiative to sign up, right? We're not going to force you to sign up. We're not going to put your name on a list. So it starts off by you willing to sign up during the summer, give it a chance. Again, like Daniel said, it's a voluntary program. We're not going to force you to show up to every meeting. There's not going to be consequences if you don't. But what we'll try to do is we'll say, we will give you everything. Just give us like 30 minutes of your time a week or an hour a week based on your group, and just give your mentor a shot. And who knows, you might gain lifelong friendships out of this, or at least have a more solid transition coming into college.
There's the question about the difference between the mentoring program in Galipatia and peer mentoring. Could you go over it?
Yeah. So I actually did the Galipatia program and then became a mentor here. So I would say overall, the basic format's the same, right? So you have a total of 10 weeks in both programs, where you meet with your mentor once a week, and they go over similar topics because they, again, also want to help ease your transition. I think the main difference comes into the fact that you all don't live in the same building and you don't live in the same space. So in Galipatia, you tend to live in the same floor. You could have people from all over campus, which I think is really cool. And your groups might be co-ed. So again, based on the group that you have, you might have girls and guys in your group, or if you're you might have a girl mentor when there's a lot more guys in the group, while Galipatia is single gender in general. And our events are slightly varied, but we do our best to cater to our audience, and they do their best to cater to the residents living in their building. So just slight difference, but the overall structure is the exact same. So someone's asking, what made VT engineering more enticing in terms of courses?
I cannot speak for every other major, but I could speak for chemical engineering. So in addition to the fact that we have some of the best professors ever for chemical engineering, we do have a lot of in-person programs. So like labs, we have connection to a lot of industry. So like we have like what is the word? It's this sort of connection we have with like industries like Exxon, DuPont, and all those big chemical engineering companies that are willing to give you experience from their point of view, give you certain resources that they use in their field to have you prep for what is to come in the industry. So that I would say that is what makes chemical engineering VT program, the VT program, really good. But I cannot talk for the other majors.
I personally, the reason that I was so drawn to the VT engineering program in general was you have a year to figure out what you want to do. I think that is one of the coolest things and extremely rare for a school. That being said, you're still doing engineering courses. That's not just going to go away. But while every other school is doing gen ed courses anyway their first year, we don't have the pressure to already know exactly what engineering major you want to go to. But you know you like science and math. So this first year, you're going to take basic engineering courses, which are interesting and they're fun. And the point of those courses are to expose you to every single engineering major and to give you an idea of saying, hey, so these are the different majors. This is what it's like. We'll expose you to as much information as possible. And being a part of a program like this helps that, because you get even more exposure to students in every single major from a student's perspective. And on top of that, you're still taking your basic chemistry classes, your physics classes, math classes. But a whole year is a really long time to gain information and to figure out what you like. Because I personally am someone that likes something once you try it. I can't just know. I have to try it. And if I like it, then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do that. So that was that opportunity for me. That's extremely rare and the coolest thing about our program.
I want to go. So I thought I wanted chemical engineering. I didn't have that much information about it. I just realized I liked chemistry, I liked engineering. So I came to tech thinking I was going to do chemical engineering. But having the first year to decide that I actually want chemical engineering, not just doing it because I felt like I love chemistry and I love engineering. It's a good thing. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to know what you don't want to do. And that's what the first year program does. Some people figure out that, oh, this is what they want to do and they stick with it. Some people figure out that, okay, I thought I liked mechanical engineering, but I feel like I'm more of an electrical engineering sort of person. And that year is the best thing that you could get for this program. So, yeah.
Someone asked if CEED mentoring has service hours similar to LC. Again, that's kind of a huge difference. So living in the building, you have to do a certain amount of social events, professional events, service hours. There's a lot more requirements that come with living in an LLC. We don't have any of that. So we have the pure mentoring aspect. You come here, you get support system, and we have events that you can attend if you're interested, and we'll provide them to you as opportunities, but we don't have any other requirements in our program. It's just like, hey, we'll give you as much as you can, attend as much as you can, and we would love your participation, but that's it, no requirements. And to emphasize the Galpatia mentoring again is Galpatia. So you will automatically have a mentoring program when you sign up there, but it's not this program. They have their mentoring program is separate than ours, even though the structure, there's a lot of similarities. Someone asked, is there any point in applying for the mentoring program? I'm already joining Galpatia. No. If you already applied and got into Galpatia and that's where you're living, you're good. You're set with your mentoring program. But in the case that you sign up and let's say they're already filled up or something comes up and you don't end up living there, we'd love for you to join our program. But if you're already set for Galpatia, no, you don't have to.
And then a question about when do we sign up? So again, it'll go live in June, the sign up. So you will just visit our website, look out for emails. You'll probably get lots of them advertising signups being available. Also follow our Facebook and Instagram pages, and we'll post there too to let you know when those things are happening. Awesome. Again, thank you all for attending.